My name is Dr. Terry Cullen, and I was a professor for many years who I taught people studying to be teachers. And now I recently moved from Arkansas to a state that's called New Mexico. And New Mexico is in the southwest part of the country, and it's closer to Mexico, like the other country, Mexico. And I've lived here for about a year and I'm in charge of all the online classes for the university. So we have a lot of people who study online at the university, and so I'm the one that makes sure that they can learn okay and that their computers are working and everything's good. So that's kind of what I do. And I live here with my husband Brian and my dog, whose name is Roulette.
Yes, I know that.
Oh, here, I'll show you because we're at my house. It's late at night. And let's
Oh,
see. Can we
ah,
see?
so fun
Oh,
day for my students.
there you go.
Yes.
She
So,
likes to.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Maheshwar. I am an 80th grader from GPHS Karmaga. I would like to ask you a question. As director of distance learning, how do you design online lessons to keep students engaged and ensure they meet learning goals?
Okay. So, one of the things that we do here is we want to make sure that the students get time with their teachers, even if they're living somewhere else. So, one of the things that we have to do is we have to make sure that they have ways to talk to their teachers and that their teachers are talking to them. Have you ever had a teacher who didn't talk back to you in the classroom?
No.
No, so see, you haven't. So that's when you're face to face, but sometimes when people are online, they are given homeworks and then they're expected to do it, but then the teacher doesn't talk to them. So one of the things is that I make sure that maybe teachers do videos like this, or maybe they just make a video that they send to the students to say, like, this is my lecture, or this is my thing. So that because one of the things that's interesting is we have students that are taking online classes with us from all over the world. And so sometimes, like, what time is it right there right now? What time do you have there? What time?
9 o'clock. 9 a.m. morning.
9 a.m. See, and here it is 9:30 p.m. And so we have to sometimes work really hard to do stuff like this in order to help students who maybe live somewhere else to be able to answer questions and ask questions to teachers. So we do lots of stuff like this.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Revati. I am studying 8th standard from ZPHS Penmaka. With your permission, I would like to ask a question.
Okay.
My question is, how has living and working in New Mexico influenced your approach to education and community engagement?
Okay. So New Mexico is very special. Part of what I liked about New Mexico is that every student who graduates from high school can go to university for free. They have to have the marks of at least, do you use ABC in your country? Do you do ABC?
yes.
Yes.
Like, are your grades like A, B, and C, or how are your grades?
Yes.
ABC, ma'am.
Okay. So like so here in the United States, students have to pay a lot of money to go to university. And so in my state, they have decided that all students get to go to university as long as they at least have a C. So they don't even have to be a really good student, but they can go to the university for free. And so that's really special about my state. So I have a lot of students whose parents don't have any money, or maybe they even grew up like out in the country where they like didn't have like their parents were maybe farmers or very poor, and they can come to the university and they can become a teacher or an engineer. And so that's one of the things I really love about New Mexico, because I get to teach students where getting a university education really makes a difference. And when I worked other places, it was only for the really rich kids. And so they were going to do well anyway because their parents had money. But here all kinds of students get to go. The other thing that our state is known for is in the United States, um, it is very expensive to care for babies. And so if if both parents work, then it's very expensive to pay for caring for the babies. And so our state also offers all children under the age of 5 have free childcare so their parents can work. And that's really a big thing. That's a really big thing because what helps is then people who don't have a lot of money can still take care of their families. And so that's why I really love New Mexico. Did I answer your question? Hello.
My name is Pooja. I'm an eighth grader from UPHS Belmaka. May I ask you a question?
Of course.
What local resources or community partnerships in the state have you drawn on to enrich student learning outside the classroom?
Okay. So, if you look up where I teach, which is in Portales, New Mexico, have you guys learned about fossils and finding bones from like dinosaurs and things? Have you learned about that? No? Okay. So, where I live, there is a place where there are very, very old bones that are buried from animals that are extinct. And they have found some very famous ones here. So near our university, we have a place where students can go and discover ancient animals' bones and do research. And so that's one of the really cool things about where I live. There's if you look it up, there's a famous fossil that's called Clovis Man that was found here. And so it's very, very famous. And so that's like, have you guys like like movie Jurassic Park? Yeah, do you know that movie? Or like dinosaurs? Yeah, do you guys know about that sort of thing?
Yes,
Do you guys study
have you
dinosaurs at all?
yes, have you seen the movies of dinosaurs?
Yes.
Jurassic Park. They have seen the movies of Jurassic Park, and that's
Yeah.
how they came to know about dinosaurs.
Yeah. So anyway, so where we are, we have a place where people can go and dig, which is a really like they can go and find the dinosaur bones. I would also say a lot of our students who are studying to be teachers will go and volunteer or teach in the local schools with a teacher like your teacher. So they'll be like a junior teacher and they'll teach with your teacher to learn how to be a teacher. And then we also have a very large program here is speech pathology for if people have trouble talking, they're like doctors who work with the people who have trouble talking. And so we offer those services for free to our community so that our students can get practice helping people learn how to talk. So like old people or people who maybe have a disability, they work with them and help them to be able to speak better. And so we do that to help the community. Good evening.
My name is Ketna. I'm ninth standard from U.S.A High School, Penmaka. May you ask a question, ma'am?
Yes, of course.
You are an Apple distinguished educator. Can you share one achievement or project you are most proud of and the impact it had on students or teachers?
Okay. So when I was at University of Oklahoma, do you all know what an iPad is? Do you know what an
Yeah.
iPad
Do you know
is?
iPad? Yes, they know. They know the
Okay.
iPad.
So when I was at Okay. So when I was at the University of Oklahoma, we had a special program where everyone who was studying to be a teacher, we gave them an iPad for free. And if they made good marks and they were good students, when they graduated to become teachers, they got to take the iPad and use it as a teacher with their class. And I did that for 7 years, and we gave away about 5,000 iPads. And so all of those teachers, we gave one iPad to each teacher. So then those teachers went to their schools in little towns and big towns, and they all got to take it with them so that they could teach teachers with technology, so they could teach their students with technology. And I was really proud of that because I've still seen some of my former students, and they're doing amazing things, and they're really good teachers.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Vaishnavi. I am studying ninth standard from ZPHS Penmaga. I am asked a question.
Okay.
What technologies or tools have you found most effective for supporting teachers new to remote instructions, and how do you train them to use those tools?
Well, so I do a lot with virtual reality. Do you know what virtual reality is? Like where you wear the mask and then
No, ma'am.
okay. So, um, so last year, the last couple of years, I worked training teachers that lived in very small towns. Is your town a small town? Is it very small?
Small
Where
village.
you live?
Smart village.
Oh, okay. It's a small village. Okay. So I taught teachers that lived in really small places, a lot where they're farmers and such. And so what we did is we bought these glasses that they could talk to each other through them. So it's like a computer you wear on your face. It's called virtual reality. And so then they could live anywhere and we would have classes together. And it would be like we were talking to each other like this. And we would have like little avatars, little cartoons that we made to look like ourselves. And then we could just talk to each other. And right now, I've done some work with a company that's using it for people to work at the oil field, like in order to, mine oil or natural gas. And so it's very dangerous job. So they want people to do that job, but it's very dangerous. So they don't want people to get hurt while they're learning. And so they have made like a fake oil thing, oil land, like where you drill oil, and you wear it's in your headset, and then you can work together and learn how to work there. So, and those jobs in the United States to work in oil are some of the best paying jobs. And so that's very cool too. So I think virtual reality is really, really cool. I also, though, think when it comes to technology, what I have found is it is really great when someone can afford the technology, right? So, do any of you have cellular phones in your house?
Yes. How many of you have the cell phones? Raise the hands.
Yeah. Okay, so you can do a lot with a cell phone, right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Watch videos. Yeah. So if you think about it, is if everybody has a cell phone and we can learn with the cell phone, then the cell phone is awesome. And if I use something really fancy and only I can only get one of them, then it's kind of stupid because there's only one and I've got 30 students, right? But maybe if we all have cell phones, we can do something cool with our cell phones. So I always think it's the best that if we can afford it, even a technology, you don't have to have the best technology, you just have to use it the best you can.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Standing outside in New Mexico, the wind is very, very strong. And so we have this right here. It's called a wind wall. And so what this is the wind is so strong, you have to have a wall in front of your house to keep the wind from blowing your house windows down.
Wow.
And so we have the wind is so busy yesterday that we had trucks flying over on the highway because the wind was 70 miles per hour.
Oh.
And so we have a wind wall, and then we have a little sitting area behind the wind wall, but this wall is really just for the wind.
Okay.
And then let's see.
Okay. Very interesting.
Shoop.
Thank you so much. You to give a message to my students. A message.
Okay, I guess I will say this. I know you all come from different backgrounds, but I have to say that I have studied with many students who have come to the United States from India.
Oh.
And there are many people who can study here, and there are many, um, and my husband is a programmer, a computer programmer, and he works all the time with teams of programmers in India. And so there's lots of opportunity to visit other countries and see other things, both by distance and also, by something like this, but also as, the world, it's important that we get to know each other. There's some good stuff happening in the world and there's some not so good stuff happening in the world. And a lot of times we can make assumptions about other people, but the best thing you can do is travel and meet people from other places because that changes your perspective. And during COVID, were you all stuck at home? Were you stuck at home during COVID? Yeah. I have to say, I was very sad being at home, but I've been to Italy, I've been to Turkey, I've been to China, I've been to Mexico, I've been all over the Caribbean. And the fact that I saw places in the world, even when I was trapped at home, it fed my soul because I knew that we were all humans together. And that's very amazing.
Okay, thank you so much, Teresa, for your time.